Hi and welcome to the channel. I've been waiting for some time now for black bezel, black dial, 40mm Submariner Homage from Pagani Design. It's finally here, it's in this box, and this could potentially mean that this is the best value Submariner Homage on the market at this price point. So without any further delay, let's check it out. Hi and welcome to the channel. If you're already subscribed, thank you and very warm welcome back. And if you're new here, please make sure to hit that subscribe button. It does help us to bring you more reviews. Usual Pagani Design packaging, warranty card, user manual and a cloth. And here is the watch. Of course, a tag, which is this time attached to the watch, which is good. In this unboxing review, I will cover the price, key dimensions and specifications of this watch, and as usual, I will share the bad, the good and the ugly as I see them at this point. And at a later stage, I will follow up with more in-depth, full review once I spent at least a week or so with this watch. Of course, the price. I paid $85 US for this watch on AliExpress. I bought it from Pagani Design AliExpress store. I will leave a link in the description. The price is now back to $89.99, however with various coupons and discount codes, it is still possible to bring it down by a few bucks. You can pay an extra $10 and get a rubber strap. I personally don't see a point. Also, it now can be shipped from Spain, which is an advantage if you live in Europe. However, looks like this seller charges extra $6.32 for a 7-day delivery from Spain, so something to keep in mind when placing an order. Shipment from China is still free. Now, with this out of the way, let's take a look at the watch. A bit different order this time. First, let's take a moment and look at this lovely piano black dial. There is a very subtle sunburst effect on the dial. It is very subtle, but it is definitely there. I even put it next to my Pagani GMT watch to make sure I'm not seeing things. We can clearly see the applied indices. I like the writing layout and the logo. 100-meter water resistance and Japanese movement wording down at 6 o'clock, which is correct because this watch is powered by Seiko NH35 movement. At the first glance, chaptering and applied lumed field indices align. I think if we examine the indices under the macro lens, we might find some misalignments. However, personally, taking into account the price point, I'm happy with the dial. The date window at 3 o'clock is okay. I'm not sure if this is an optical illusion or there is a slight misalignment between the cyclop and the date window. If you have similar PD 6061 model, please let us know in the comments if your date window and the cyclop are correctly aligned. The date wheel font is not the crispiest, however, all the digits are well visible and date is legible. Also, the lume is not bad compared to other Pagani watches I reviewed. It actually comes close to Pagani GMT lume quality, which is good, and it might be that Pagani Design finally listened to the user feedback and slowly trying to repair its reputation of notoriously poor lume. While we're talking about the dial, we might as well check the crystal. Crystal is advertised as sapphire, they even put a sticker on it to remind us about it, and I checked, and it is. Cyclop, by the way, is also made of sapphire crystal, and cyclop magnification, in my opinion, is more than sufficient. Okay, finally the suspense is over. Let's see. Yes, it is 40mm, 40.5mm to be exact. Lug width is 20mm, lug tip to lug tip is 47.4mm, and measured with the protruding end links 53mm. The bracelet tapers down to 16mm at the clasp, and the clasp is about 18mm. At full length, the bracelet should cover about 8¼ inch wrist. As a matter of fact, it looks like it is pretty much the same case and the bracelet as used for Pagani GMT model PD 1662 that I reviewed not so long ago. And it is a good thing in my opinion because that watch is well balanced and sits well on my 7-inch wrist. Weight of the watch is 155 grams on a fully supplied bracelet, which is pretty much around the sweet spot for the sport watch. The watch feels nice and solid. Moving on to the case, stainless steel construction, good finishing of this price point, polishing on the flanks and brushing on top of the lugs, exhibition screwback case, a bit different from Rolex Submariner style, but personally I don't mind. And I'm quite happy to see trusted Seiko NH35 movement beating away behind the exhibition glass. By the way, I tested the accuracy on a time grapher and I'm quite pleased with the results. I was getting around ±3 seconds per day accuracy. I will include the details in the upcoming full review video. Of course, don't forget to subscribe if you want to see that. There is a signed screw-down crown and one little but interesting detail. There is a rubber O-ring visible if you unscrew the crown, which further improves dust and water resistance of the case. All this contributes to the declared 100 meters of water resistance, so it is okay to take this watch for a swim. Thanks to the NH35 movement, the crown action is smooth, the winding and general crown operation is quite reassuring, and as I already mentioned, I'm pleased with the accuracy as well. This bracelet is pretty much the same full stainless steel 20mm bracelet that is used on Pagani GMT watch, and it is a good bracelet, especially taking into the account the price point. Solid links, solid end links, it uses screws rather than pins, which is nice. As always with this bracelet, it is good to make sure that the screws are properly screwed in. Also, personally, I would like to see a fully brushed bracelet rather than with polished center link one, because for one, it is less of a scratch magnet, and of course it would be more similar to a fully brushed bracelet used on Rolex Submariner. Nice machine clasp with a quick on-the-fly extension, similar to Rolex Easy Link style extension. When it comes to clasp action though, it is not super refined. Well, it feels okay now, but from experience I know that these clasps are a bit of a touch and go. But keeping the price point again in mind, this is not a deal breaker for me personally. So, all good around review then, right? Well, not so fast. Some of you might be wondering when am I going to talk about the bezel. Well, now's the time. The bezel is ceramic, which is good. It is unidirectional, 60 clicks as you would expect from most diver bezels, and even it has a centered limped peep. So far so good. The text is engraved and is likely to stay looking nice and crisp based on my experience with other Pagani Design ceramic bezels, and this is also nice. Now, the bezel action is okayish. There is a bit of a backplay and it feels a bit on the light side, but personally I'm okay with this. I have to confess here that I predominantly use the diver bezels to time my weekend barbecues. And for that, with the sunny weather we have in London lately, this bezel will do just fine. Now, the only bezel requirements which I am not willing to budge on, no matter the price point, is the alignment with the dial hour markers. And here where this watch failed my QC check. I wrote to the seller straight away and sent them pictures and they promised to do something about it. I didn't want to delay this video waiting for the full resolution, so I will have to include an update in the upcoming full review. Generally, I am quite pleased with this watch. I personally like all black classic Submariner Homage color scheme. Please let us know in the comments what is your favorite color combination. And don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss a full review of this watch and any other upcoming videos. And as always, thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next one.